afternoon. Welcome to Sports Nothing But Sports for a beautiful Thursday afternoon in central Indiana. It is Thursday, March 21st, 2019, day one of the NCAA Tournament. Don't talk to me about all the playing games. I don't care how the NCAA gets to the field of 64. They can have like 100 playing games. Once we get to 64, the tournament proper starts, and it has started. Minnesota with an upset win over Louisville that concluded just a few moments ago. And I want to talk to you about the NCAA tournament and the reasons why we love it. And I kind of alluded to one of them, but we'll get back to that. I've got 6 reasons. I'm probably going to come up with another 6 during the course of this podcast. But first, the reason that we love it is that we get to participate. We get to fill out brackets, and we get to send people $10 or $5 or $20 or something like that. And then at the end, if you win, you get to claim that you know more than anyone, but you know this. You really don't. We don't know that much. So we just guess at it. Do we really know whether Yale or LSU is going to win? We're going to guess because LSU's a 3 seed that LSU is going to win this game, right? Yale, a 14 seed, nice kids. We're probably going to end up working for them one day, but there they are at Yale. And the Ivy League, they don't have much of a chance against a big bad team from the SEC. We watch a game like this because we know that LSU's crooked. And Will Wade was offering recruits his own cash to come play at LSU, and that does not happen at Yale. They don't even offer scholarships to their guys. They're all walk-ons, for God's sake. They do get some academic money, but that's why we enjoy this kind of game. Where else are you going to see Yale play LSU, for God's sake? But we get to participate with brackets, and we get to pretend we're really smart guys, and we get to hope for the best. My wife, one year, it's quite a few years ago, she hit 31 of 32 first-round games. Never seen anybody do it before or since. That's unbelievable. You think she felt smart? You bet your ass she felt smart, but not so smart 2 weekends later when she finished way out of the money because her final 4 teams were all incorrect. After hitting 31 of 32, she loses the pool. What in the hell is going on? That's what she wanted to know. Another reason, with 64 teams, there's always somebody to root for and root against for whatever reason, whether it's geography, whether it's your alma mater. Sorry, Indiana alums, fellow Indiana alums. We don't get that opportunity this year. And sorry, Butler alums, you don't get that opportunity this year. But with 64 teams in this thing, that's a hell of a lot of people who graduated from a hell of a lot of schools or attend a hell of a lot of schools who are interested in those games because of their affinity for those institutions. And again, 64 teams is a really good number. I don't count the play-in games. All right, if the NCAA Selection Committee wants to have play-in games over in Dayton to determine 4 teams who are going to slide into this thing and round out the field of 64, that's fine. But I pay no attention to them. The tournament starts today, Thursday, always Thursday. That's the way this thing works, and that's the way it shall always be in my mind. If they expand the field in 96, I'm paying no attention until they get to 64. 96 to 64. 64 is where the tournament starts for me, and I suggest that you adopt that mindset as well. Another reason, upsets. We love upsets. Wouldn't it be great to see, like a few years ago, we got to see Lehigh beat Duke, a 15 seed beat the Dukies. Was that not one of the best days you've ever spent in your life watching college basketball? Of course it was. The Patriot League taking on the giant, Mike Krzyzewski, all those pros, and still Lehigh found a way over the course of 40 minutes to win that game. It's a wonderful thing. It'll come back and bite you in the ass, too. Like with Indiana, I remember Cleveland State. I remember Richmond. I remember the upsets. They're all really, really unpleasant as long as you're not on the receiving end of one of those upsets. Another reason we love March Madness. None of us knows everything, so we're all experts. You know, as we sit down and we discuss these guys, I got a real good feeling about Yale. You do? Why? Have you seen Yale play? Do you know anything about Yale? Of course you don't, but you got a good feeling. You think, hey, They're without their coach. They're without Will Wade. They know that the NCAA hammer is coming at some point, and these kids are distracted. We don't know that, but we surmise and we guess, and then we say these kids from Yale, you know what? They got an NBA player on this thing, and we know that because we've been told it, and we assume that they're really, really smart because, hey, they go to Yale. So we think, you know what? Yale over LSU, that's a lot of fun. And then we start picking with our hearts. And when we start picking with our hearts, we start making mistakes, and that's okay. That's all right, because what the hell is the difference? It doesn't really matter, does it? You're out $5, you're out $10, you're out $20, whatever the pool you're in, whatever it costs, it's cool. You assume you're going to lose it. You don't think that you're going to win the thing. I've been playing these pools forever and a day, and I've never cashed. Ever have I walked away with cash in my pocket because of my level of genius in filling out an NCAA tournament bracket. Another great reason is it's a long damn winter, and this gives us a benchmark to usher in spring. There is nothing better than today, this Thursday and this Friday, to take off work a little bit early and head to a place like Drake's over in Castleton or someplace like that, sit around all afternoon long, drink beer, and say, you know what? The weather has stunk on ice since Thanksgiving, and we are finally done with this crap. And every once in a while, on a day like this, you get a really warm day where whether it's 72, 73, you show up in shorts and a polo shirt, you're having a great time. Maybe you sit outside and you watch the games outside and you feel like it's summertime, and it's kind of like the barnacles come off your attitude and you feel absolutely wonderful about life. Isn't that a nice reason to really embrace March Madness? Of course it is. And then every once in a while, magic happens. And magic in the NCAA tournament is really, really unique in that, it's a lose-and-go-home tournament. And so magic causes both unbridled joy for the people who bring about the magic, the kid who hits the half-court shot and is mobbed by his teammates, and they survive and advance. But it also brings unbridled grief, despondence to a fan base, a team, a coaching staff, and everybody else involved. And that's kind of wonderful, too. Because in a competitive atmosphere like the NCAA tournament, you've got, there's a perfect balance between joy and disappointment. There is a perfect balance between winning and losing. It's a zero-sum game. The more joy for one team, the greater the grief for the other. And we like that. We like watching people. We love watching them, celebrate and go crazy and hug each other and mob each other and feel really great about each other and see a magic moment as a validation of all those years of work. And then what we also kind of like to see is we like to see the kids who get on their hands and knees on the floor and weep. Because it's at that point that you realize how much this means to everybody. Going to the NCAA tournament, you want to know what? For teams unlike Kansas and Duke and Michigan State, it's not an automatic punch ticket for a lot of these programs. This, for a lot of these kids, is a once-in-a-lifetime exploit, and they take it as such. And so they dreamed and dreamed and dreamed. Those who are dreaming of playing for millions of dollars in the NBA have dreamed about playing in the NCAA tournament, and here's their opportunity. And when that opportunity comes, they embrace it. And when that opportunity comes to an end, it is absolutely crushing for those who engage in it. And we get to see all of it right in front of our eyes. And what's especially cool is that in the game of basketball, we are right on top of the floor. Television cameras show us the kids' faces. There's no helmet. There's no hat to obscure what these kids are feeling or hide what these kids are feeling. What we see is the real deal, and it's the raw emotion of the moment. And that's what makes March Madness great. As we look forward to this round of March Madness, I hope today, if you're listening to this, you're in a bar right now and you're about 6 beers in and you call an Uber before you go home. But until then, you just have a great time with your friends, watching maybe your alma mater or a kid that you remember seeing play high school basketball, or maybe just rooting for upsets, maybe just rooting for those teams that you pick to win in your bracket. March Madness is a great, purely American celebration of sport, all the good, all the misery, all the fun, all the oblivion, all the man, oh man, 40 minutes ago or 4 seconds ago, I felt like we had an opportunity, and here we are on the outside looking in. Or I thought, man, there was no chance for us to win, but here we are moving on. The NCAA tournament is absolutely wonderful theater. It lasts all day today, all day tomorrow. It's going to be a great Saturday and Sunday. And then as the teams kind of winnowed down to the Sweet 16 and the Elite Eight, it becomes a little less fun. And then over the course of the Final Four weekend, I got to tell you, Final Four weekend's kind of like, okay. You know what? You usually get down to the Blue Bloods. Every once in a while, you get a Loyola or a George Mason or a VCU or something like that, a Butler, somebody that you can root for as somebody whose presence at the Final Four hasn't been kind of bought and paid for. And it's just the pure love of basketball and the execution of great basketball fundamentals that takes a team there. But this weekend especially, starting right now today, is, for my money, the best weekend on the entire sports calendar for the year. And I hope like hell you enjoy it. This, of course, Sports Nothing But Sports with me. I'm Ken Sterling, and it's brought to you by the great people at Today's Dentistry. You know what? If you got teeth, you got to go see a dentist. That's a great way to wind up keeping your teeth. And if you're going to see a dentist, why not see the best dentist? That's Dr. Mike O'Neill at Today's Dentistry. And all you have to do to go see Dr. Mike O'Neill and avail yourself of his genius is give him a call. 317-849-2933. Tomorrow morning, we got Breakfast with Kent. And that's everywhere. Facebook Live, that's a video presentation. This is just audio. That's a video presentation on Facebook Live and Periscope. You can also get it right here wherever you're getting it, on SoundCloud or iTunes or thegruelingtruth.net or wherever, Spotify, I don't know where the hell it is. It's all over the place. And then right back here tomorrow afternoon, we'll have a comprehensive preview of the Indiana High School state basketball tournament. The championships will be held on Saturday. All 4 classes at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. That is a great day of sports as well here in Indianapolis. And we'll talk to both coaches from the 4A championship game, Carmel and Ben Davis, as well as the great Heath Shanahan, the director of broadcasting operations for the IHSAA, about how you can consume all the cool stuff that's going on this weekend, especially if you're not going down to Bankers Life Fieldhouse. All of that tomorrow. Today, enjoy the basketball. Have fun. The one game that has gone final to this point is, well, you know what? LSU is going to beat Yale. As we record this, that game is almost over. LSU by 6 right now with 20 seconds left. And Louisville has been eliminated by Minnesota. I love Minnesota because I love Murphy. Murphy is just a terrific basketball player. My disdain for Richard Pitino notwithstanding, I really like to watch Minnesota play basketball. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock, Breakfast with Ken.